Hello guys, welcome back sa The Angel Podcast. This is episode 2.
Episode number 2.
Yes, and we released the first episode yesterday lang.
Yeah.
And now we are recording for the second episode. And we would like to thank everyone na nag-support ng first episode. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
The first episode was now currently, I think, almost 500 views.
Mhm.
And we are almost at 100 subscribers. So we
Wow.
thank you for everyone who subscribed, everyone who watched the video, even though it's an hour long video. And to those who have commented as well, we thank you for the engagements. And yeah, as mapapansin nyo guys, tatlo pa rin kami today. Pero may isa po kaming bagong kasama.
Yung.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, introduce yourself first, mister.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeremiah Salangsang, and I'm part of music ministry, or what do we call Psalmist ministry. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. So, welcome, Jeremiah.
Welcome.
Actually,
Hi, guys.
expertise ni Jeremiah to kasi siya ay
Siyempre.
nag-ano ngayon, nag-aaral ng Masscom sa
Yeah.
UECAL.
Yes.
So, sabi ko nga nung pinag-uusapan namin to, malaking outlet din sa kanya to.
Yeah.
Para lahat ng mga natututunan niya sa school ay may apply niya dito.
Yun.
Yes.
But sadly, in this episode,
Oh my.
Sadly.
not actually sadly, but in this episode, as per request of some of the people, some of our friends, hindi nila alam to actually. Ako yung nakausap. So
Mhm.
today, we will dive deeper on the struggles. Struggles that we don't normally talk about.
Mhm.
No
Sir.
struggles that we face as a believer, and we don't normally say this to other people, but now we are going to be brutally honest
Yup.
about everything na nararanasan namin, and we pray that we could help others who could be struggling the same way.
Mhm.
So how do we start?
How do we start?
Okay, let's dive. Last episode, you talk about peer pressure.
Mhm.
So peer pressure is something that we all have in common,
Yeah.
and
So
let's start there.
Mhm.
Sasabihin natin surface level pa lang yun, pero let's start with the peer pressure. So what experiences do you have with peer pressure?
Peer pressure. Of course, at school, that's where most of the, if not all the peer pressure comes, because that's where we are, labas sa church, very vulnerable. I remember times I would look for opportunities na hindi ko kasama mga ka-church, mga pinsan ko, para lang magawa ko yung gusto ko, para lang maging in sa kanila sa mundo. So that is, like what I said last episode, my peer pressure moments. Gusto ko maging in sa kanila, sa mundo. And that's actually one of the struggles that I had for such a long time. Because, syempre, as believers, may mga times na I didn't want them to know na believer ako, na naglilingkod ako sa Diyos. And that caused me to do many stupid things.
Stupid.
A lot of stupid things.
No filters.
Because of the peer pressure, because gusto ko magiging worldly. I wanted to be worldly that time. And for the longest time, hindi ko nakita to, pero I myself, pinipilit ko yung hindi dapat. Pinipilit ko maging worldly. I tried to force myself na maging, one with the world, one with my environment. Which is, kahit anong pilit ko, hindi talaga mag-work out. Because mas malakas talaga yung calling of God. Na, yun, the calling of God sa buhay ko. Na I'm not called to be with them, but I am called to be a light sa kanila. Yan ang some of my peer pressure stuff.
Okay, our new guest.
Same with him. So same with Sostenes. Kasi we're both college students. So I can relate kasi of course the first year or the first 2 years, of course I'm exploring. Of course, we all know guys na uh, yung pagiging student sa high school compare sa college is iba. Kasi now, especially nowadays, in this generation, college students are very, I'm not gonna say the word wild. So,
Liberal.
yeah, kind of. Maybe they are very, very open.
Liberated.
Yeah,
Open-minded.
very open-minded.
Mm-mm.
And like Sostenes mentioned kanina, I tried to
Fit in.
to mingle with them, like to
Fit in.
to fit in,
Fit
yeah,
in,
to fit in
yes.
myself with them. But as time goes by, there are signs or there are times talaga na nakikita ko nga at nare-realize ko na hindi talaga ako fit or hindi ako match
Yes.
sa kanila. And I thank God, I'm grateful na nakita ko yon
Yes.
because through that, nailigtas ako ni Lord.
Yeah.
I was saved by God because kung hindi ko papansinin yung conviction ko, might be, hindi nyo na ako kasama ngayon. Or might na kung saan talagang nag-fall ako into sa trap. Kasi,
Mm.
yun nga, like I said, first time lumawak
Yeah.
Yeah.
yung perspective ko as a student. And,
Mm.
yun, so I am grateful na talagang nakita ko yung mga signs na yun, nakita ko agad. At the same time, sinunod ko yung conviction. And at the same time, yung ministry din. Kasi,
Mm-mm.
yun nga, as time goes by, at the same time, naiisip ko yung ministry.
Mm-mm.
What if I did this? What if I try na ko saan, yun nga, sumunod sa kanila, di ba? Kasi may temptation talaga eh.
Yes.
Pero, lagi ko talaga naaalala or may conviction sa akin lagi. The conviction is there. At the same time, yung ministry na meron ako.
Mm-mm.
Kasi, yun nga, napakalaga po ng mga ministry po natin
Yes.
bilang kabataan. And especially tayo po because, ewan ko kung nasabi nyo na most of us is part po ng music ministry.
Yes.
All of us.
Mm-mm.
3 of us is part po ng music ministry.
Yeah.
And bibihira lang po ang mapili or talagang mapili na kung saan pagkatiwalaan sa in the area of music ministry. And to me, on my part, it is on the other hand, I'm grateful na naging part ako. So I'm grateful na yun nga, doon na-experience ko yun na muntikan na. Ang kaaway is always hanggang muntikan lang.
Yes.
And at least through that, may natutunan ako, mga na-experience ako.
Mm-hmm.
And ano kasi siya, di ba? Tayong mga laki sa church, we do not know how to socialize.
Yeah,
It's true.
It's true.
Very
So
true.
yun sa nakita ko struggle ko in my life.
Yeah.
Since normally sanay ako na kasama ko lang mga taga-church, makakausap lang ako ng mga hindi taga-church kapag nasa school ako.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when you try to speak to people the way that you've been speaking to people sa church, makikita mo talaga yung difference.
Kakaiba.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Automatically mararamdaman mo na iba sa mundo.
Mm-hmm.
So, struggle din sa akin because I do not know how to talk to people. I mean, yung level ng kanilang sense of humor
Yeah.
automatically doesn't match with mine. They know something about the world that I don't know.
Yes.
And they know these certain jokes that immediately kapag sinabi nila yun, magtatawanan lahat.
Mhm.
Pero ako di ko alam kasi di ko alam yung background, di ko alam kung ano
Yeah.
story nun. So, yeah, there's definitely peer pressure. And during high school, may mga times na may mga party issues na ito yung grupo ng mga cool kids. Ito yung mga grupo
It's
ng
true.
mga bully.
Division.
Ito yung grupo ng mga athletes, ganito, ganyan.
Divisions.
And there is this time na I'm trying to find saan ako belong.
Mm-mm.
There's sense of
Mhm.
belongingness na, yun
Yeah.
nga, yung sinasabi nyo na, where do I fit in? And so, yun, I try to match my personality sa kanilang mga personality. Pero hindi tayo nasanay sa ganun.
Yeah.
Nasanay tayo kung paano tayo pinalaki sa church, kung ano yung tinuturo sa mga Bible school, ganito, ganyan. Kaya may struggle din. May mga times na nakakasabay ako sa trip, Pero may mga times na parang sobra na hindi ko na gusto yung ganito. Yung,
Ah.
and yun yung magkakos na, okay, maglalaylo ka, di ba? Hindi ka sasama sa group, ganun. So, yeah, peer pressure is really real sa, sa mga kabataan, lalo-lalo na ngayon.
Yes.
Because mahirap talaga yung papasok ka ng school ng ikaw lang. Di ba? Kasi
Mhm.
one whole year yan eh.
Mhm.
Di ba? Na mahirap yung wala kang friends, wala kang ganun. And because of our immaturity, we tend to be influenced rather than tayo yung maging influence.
Yes, it's
And
true.
I think na kung saan yun yung magiging dapat na training din natin dahil yun nga, we need to help others.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean na ikaw ay magiging part ng mundo, you will act like them.
Mhm.
I saw this one video sa Instagram or sa YouTube Shorts that there is example na a father and son was going to a playground
Mhm.
and then the father let the son play with the kids doon sa playground and
Yeah.
all of a sudden nakita nung father na okay, parang nag-iba na yung ugali mo, nagbe-blend in ka na, you're trying to blend in with them. So he called the son, come here.
Mhm.
And he says, okay, if you want to play with them, don't act like them.
Mhm.
Diba? You can play with them, but you don't need to imitate what they're saying. You do
Yeah.
not need to imitate their personality, their attitudes, and all of these things. And, yun, nakikita ko na yun yung magiging struggle natin. And we need people in our lives that would help us. Kasi nasanay tayo na abstinence.
Yes,
Diba?
it's true.
Wag
Yeah.
ganito, wag ganyan.
Mm.
Yeah, pero hindi tayo naturuan pagdating sa temperance. And
Mhm.
ako, I admit that was one of the things that I'm afraid of pagdating na sa temperance.
Mm-mm.
Kasi I don't know how to handle,
Yes.
I do not know how to handle bullying. I do not know
Mm-mm.
how to handle, avoiding trying to fit in with them. I do not
Mm-mm.
know how to handle. Basta ang alam ko lang, wag.
Yes.
Huwag mo
It's
gagawin
true.
to. Ang alam ko lang, wag. Basta bawal to. And I never
Bawal.
had
Yeah.
the understanding. Kasi I believe na true change comes from understanding why.
Mhm.
Bakit hindi dapat.
Mhm.
And hindi tayo matuturuan sa ganun, we learn from mistakes.
Yes, it's true.
Diba?
Mm.
Kaya, and at the same time, yun nga, I would like to circle back on what I said na we do not know how to handle those things.
Yeah.
So, how did you guys handle it? May mga, kasi syempre hindi nakita ng mga magulang ko ano nangyari sa school.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kaya tayong bantayan sa church. Pero sa
Mm.
school, kagaya na sinabi ko last episode, iba na yung nagiging ugali natin. So how do you handle things sa mundo in a spiritual way, in sabihin natin, in a character of a church person?
Mm.
Paano nyo na-handle yung mga ganong peer pressure?
Here.
That's a great question.
I know. Thank you.
That's a great and
Thank you.
complicated
Thank you very much.
That's a great question.
question. Aha.
We can be honest, para we never know, di ba? What we say might help others as well.
Ay, ako muna.
Okay.
So, honestly, I didn't become, honestly, throughout all of, let's say, elementary, middle school, and high school, I tried to fit in with the world. I didn't see the reason why, bawal. Ang gusto ko lagi, makasama mga tao nito. I want to be like them. I want to, maging kaugali sila. I listen to the music that they listen to. Yung mga lingo nila, the slang. I tried to pick all that up. And I didn't see or I didn't overcome that until I started school here in college. For those who don't know, I went to school sa US from elementary to high school, K to 12. And then dito ako nag-college. And I am third year na. Wow, third year. And then, so pagpasok ko sa school, there's the temptation again na gusto ko mag-fit in sa kanila.
Whole
Siyempre.
different culture.
Yeah, but it's a whole different culture here in the Philippines. And this is where I said, hindi ko na talaga ipipilit.
Yes.
This is the time na I cannot force myself na mag-adjust sa culture nila. I mean, there is the times na kailangan ko talaga mag-adjust para sa kanila. Pero sa pagiging worldly, hindi ko na pinili that time dahil nakita ko na hindi ko talaga mapipilit yung from the culture, from the background that I have sa US. Hindi ko talaga ma-apply dito kahit anong pilit ko. So, dun ko nakita na, hindi ko talaga mapilit. Why not just shine? And it is talaga na I have been trained sa church. Alam ko rin tamang gawin. Pero pagdating sa sa battlefield, sa school, doon ako nagtataka anong gagawin ko in this situation. So that is why usually I fall sa pagiging worldly. Pero dito ko nakita sa pag may change of environment, nung nakaroon ng change of environment, doon ko na pagtagumpayan yung peer pressure. Kahit anong sabihin nila sa akin, they always, dahil yung age of consent dito ng drinking, 18 lang. Sa amin, 21. So marami akong kaklase, sinasabi nila sa akin, inom tayo.
Tumula po exam or after ng exam.
Yeah, after exam. Yan ang nakita ko sa Philippines na kahit masaya, inom. Kapag may hindi maganda nangyari, inom.
Lagi inom.
Inom ang sakit lagi. Dun ko nakita din yung culture sa mga relatives ko sa US. Puro inom din. And syempre, it's easier for me to overcome yung temptation na yan dahil hindi ko naranasan. Kapag natikman mo na yung temptation, di ba, doon mo nakaroon ng laban doon kapag natikman mo na. So it was easy for me na i-overcome yun dahil yan ang culture dito, puro inom. So, and that expanded, di ba, sa school na ayaw ko sumama sa kanila sa gala, ano lang ako, pasok uwi. Tapos church. So yun, that's the life that I grew up knowing sa college dito, which is it helped me overcome talaga yung sa training natin sa church na hindi na ako magiging worldly. Ayun.
So, yun, sa akin naman, kasi sa high school, baka di para sa kaalaman mo. Nung high school kami, guys, magkakasama kami.
Yes.
So, hindi ko gaano feel talaga yung temptation kasi nagbabantayan kami. Like we always like kami magkakasama, ganyan kasi mga varsity kami. Varsity kami ng tennis, yung kapatid niya, and other other youth is varsity ng tennis. So, no high school, medyo hindi ko ramdam. Itong college talaga. Ang naging scenario naman sa naging situation ko naman doon is about ministry naman. Ang nangyari noon naman is that I have this friend of mine na involved sa music org. And one time meron kaming isang subject na kailangan namin vlog, ganyan. Like, what you do for a day, ganyan.
Get ready with me, ganyan.
What you do for a day, tapos ano usually ginagawa mo, ano hobby mo, ganon. Anong ginagawa mo, ganyan. And isa dun sa mga sinend kong video is, nagda-drums ako. Worship prep natin. Worship prep, sa worship practice. And kasama siya sa compilation of videos ko. So nakita dun sila nag-focus na, hey, nagda-drums ka pala, marunong ka pala ganito, ganyan, hilig mo rin pala sa music, ganyan. So they invited me to join the music org. So there's the temptation that I was going to fall going to join. I was going to join. Pero alam mo yun, talagang may conviction talaga eh. May conviction, guys, na anong sense pag ginawa ko to? Anong sense na pag nag-join ako, anong mangyayari? Eh di pinakita ko kung anong ginagawa ko. O pag pinakita ko na kaya kong tumugtog, para saan? So, yun talaga, pero sobrang lakas ng temptation. Para lang yun nga, at the same time, to fit in din. Yun din yung purpose. Na may pakita ko na, kaya ko tumugtog, ganyan. Yung ginagawa nyo na, kasi it's like, may mga banda-banda sila sa music org. So, naghahanap sila ng mga drummer, naghahanap sila ng mga guitarist, ganyan. So, So they asked me to join. So yun yung naging temptation naman sa akin. Which talagang isa rin sa niligtas ako ni Lord. So I'm very grateful. So isa yun sa di ko makakalimutan na talagang at the same time naging turning point ko rin. Na kaya mas lalo ako nag-focus sa ministry.
Yeah.
Kasi kung hindi ako mag-focus sa ministry, maaari talagang papatulang ko yun. Kung hindi ako deeply rooted do sa ministry na kinagagalawan ko, maaaring mag-fall talaga ako doon sa temptation.
Tsaka wala naman makakaalam, di ba?
Yeah, at the same time,
That's
walang
yung isang
makakaalam.
temptation doon.
Walang makakaalam. Pero, ang...
Sa umpisa.
sa umpisa. Kasi, sa umpisa, walang makakaalam. Pero kasi usually, ang mga gig nila yun, mga gig nila sa school, usually gabi. Siyempre talagang maapektuhan yung mga gawain. And dun, siyempre, dun panigurado mahuhuli. Diba? Pero yun nga, I thank God na hindi ako talaga nag-fall sa temptation.
Gusto ko sinabi mo, Sos, na you know what to do, pero pagdating sa battlefield, hindi mo ma-apply yung alam mong dapat gawin. Which stems from, I believe, you can call it weakness. We are not wise. Kasi wisdom is the right application of knowledge. Diba?
Yeah.
You said, kasi, nagustuhan ko kasi, it's true. We know kung anong dapat natin gawin. We know kung anong dapat ang ugali natin. Pero when it comes to the battlefield nga, since we have never been in the battlefield, we do not know how to apply. We do not know how to make this work. So, what part na hindi nyo kayang may apply pa, na nag-struggle din sa inyo up to now? I mean, yun nga sabi ko, magiging brutally honest tayo. And if you guys haven't yet, you still don't know how, you still don't know what to do, you can be honest. Because, I don't expect na na-figure out nyo na lahat. But one part din ng mga kalaya ka is knowing that you don't know.
Yes, it's true.
Kaysa pinipilit mo na alam ko dapat gawin. Or because meron ding expectation sa labas na dapat alam mo na yung dapat mong gawin. Pero what do you do when you do not know what to do?
What do I do when I don't know what to do?
O kaya, how do you get by the day when you don't know how to do, when you know you failed again, knowing na dapat ito yung ginawa ko pero hindi ko nagawa? How do you go by that? Paano kayo nakakapag-move on sa ganun? Ano yung process of thinking ninyo? Kasi, sige, simulan ko.
Yeah, ikaw muna.
During that time, nung ako yung nag-aral sa college, sa Benilde, nag-aral ako sa Benilde. Doon talaga, naka 1 year ako sa Benilde. I saw how people, lalo na yung mga kabataan, syempre, college, they have the freedom, or let's say, quote-unquote, freedom to do what they want to do. And I know that some of the things na ginagawa nila, hindi ko dapat gawin. Pero yun nga, because of the peer pressure, merong thought na, why not try ko kaya? Why not subukan ko kaya? Now, I didn't experience drinking, I didn't experience cigarettes, but one of the struggles that I had was girls. And I mentioned it last episode because it rooted from my insecurity na nung ako ay mataba, hindi ako nagugustuhan. Ayun ang isip ko. Yun ang naiisip ko na mataba ka kasi kaya hindi ka appealing sa mundo, hindi ka gwapo. Well, although at times, syempre, sinasabihan tayo ng mga magulang natin. Mga people from the church, gwapo-gwapo naman. Pero iba yung sa labas. And I remember there was this, alala mo si Dima Pilis. sa Bernadette, yung maputi na maliit naging classmate ko. Or wala ka pa ata noon, kami pa lang ata nila Diyos noon.
It's your first year.
Yeah. Third year ako noon, third year pa. So, classmate ko siya and bro, nung nasa school talagang lahat ng tao nagtitilian sa kanya. Para siyang artista. Kasi maputi siya, tapos yung itsura niya, gwapo. And sabi ko, ano kaya feeling nung ganito na may marami nagkakagusto sa'yo, ganito, ganyan. And ang naging coping mechanism ko is through chat. Yun nga, dun na yung makikipag-chat ako sa mga babae. Flirting with them, ganon. Kasi yun nga, I'm trying to find worth by the people who appreciates me. But knowing now, kung ano yung mga pinagkagawa ko back then, di naman talaga ako yung tao magugustuhan mo pag una mong nakita. Either magugustuhan mo ako dahil
personality.
Flirted with you, or personality, o kaya may humor. Di ba? Pero, yun, I had to work for people to appreciate me. And it worsened nung ako yung nag-college. Because there was these people na they can get all the girls that they wanted. Either they would invite them to date, ganito, ganyan. And doon ako na-tempt, and I will admit it, tinry ko yung Tinder, yung mga dating apps. And there are times na, okay, gagayahin ko sa YouTube na parang mag-swipe ka lang, anonymous swipe, tapos kung sino mag-swipe back, ganon. I-chat mo, prank mo, ganon. Because of the curiosity. And I didn't know how to deal with it. And I couldn't tell my parents. Kasi, yun nga, I know na mali. Pero because of the peer pressure, I tried it. Now, nung ako yung na-DA, nung una kong na-DA, which is, minention ko na last episode, yun nga, nung umiyak si mami, that was all bottled up. It led up to that situation, kaya lumala yun. Because yun nga, hindi ko na-deal. And I do not know how to deal with it. Pero I think one thing na could have helped me, could have saved me was able to open it up to my parents.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Kasi hindi ako matalino, di ko alam kung anong gagawin. And when times na kung saan di natin alam kung anong gagawin, we try to find people who knows what to do. And people who knows what to do generally have experiences about it.
Yeah.
Pero naging struggle ko kasi noon is eto. Ganito kaliit ang tingin ko dun sa problema na mangyayari sa akin. And I tend to ask myself, do I dare bother my parents with this? Because they have ministry, they have their own thing going on in their lives, their problems as well, mga problems with dealing with people. And do I bother them with this? Do I want to waste their time with this? I mean, they are expecting me that I already know how to deal with it. Pero what do I do when I don't know how? When I don't know what to do? And I will go back yung ganito kaliit. But yun nga, naging problem ko is I didn't ask for help.
Yeah.
Kasi nga I don't want to waste their time sa maliit na to. And yun yung nagiging problem ko, and I think you guys know na how to start with it, pero mamaya babalikan ko yun. And I would just like to give opportunity sa inyo.
Ayun. Ako din. I would like to expand on that na yun din. Noon, ang naging problema ko, yung mga babae din. Dahil sa amin sa US, syempre 5'4" lang ako. Wala naman talaga makakagusto sa akin doon. Kahit nga sinasabihan ako ng mga relatives, ang gwapo mo, tangos ang ilong. Hindi ko alam ano ibig sabihin nun. Pero hindi ko naramdaman yon sa school, or hindi ko talaga naramdaman dahil hindi ako sinasabihan ng ganun sa school o kaya wala naman gusto sa akin sa school. For the longest time talaga, from elementary school, meron akong crush, you know. I got crush from elementary, middle school, high school. Pero wala. And I was always looking for attention sa at least isang babae. Loyal ako sa crush ko nun. Kahit ilang years lumipas, crush ko pa din yun. Pero, ayun nga. Pagdating sa time na meron nakapansin sa akin, dun ako nag-fall. At yung babaeng yon galing dito sa Philippines, hindi sila lumaki din sa US, so I guess yung standards niya, hindi masyado ganun kataas katulad ng mga nasa US talaga. So ayun, at yun din dun nag-start sa chat. Actually ako naghanap sa chat, ako unang nag-chat, whatever. Pero during that time na I'm at school, gusto kong maging worldly, tapos hindi pa rin ako naging kontento doon. Sa worldly gusto ko pa na may babae. So it's just paano ba sabihin to, like it piles up.
Yeah.
Na hindi ako naging kontento sa pagiging worldly ko. It's just sunod-sunod. Kapag hindi ako naging kontento dito, gusto ko na more. Na yung attention na galing sa labas.
Yeah.
So, dun din katulad na kay Pastor Fini na once na dumating dun sa point na I am on my own, dahil nung nakaroon ako ng kachat, yung MU na yan, it is actually sa ibang school kung saan ako nagte-tennis. So, ganun din. Kung saan ako na-expose na dapat ganito, na focus ako sa sports, nag-involve na yung mga makamunduhan, yung mga temptations na yan, na it's distracting me sa talaga na from the thing that I'm supposed to be doing, di ba? At during that time talaga, yun din ang nakita ko na I am not opening up sa magulang ko nun. Dahil nahiya ako. At dun ko nakita na as of now na yung nawala sa akin, di ba? Dahil malayo ako sa magulang ko, yung daddy ko wala na sa church, ganun. Kung kailan nawala, dun ko na nag-regret na ay sayang yung time na yan, dapat nag-open up ako sa magulang ko. Sayang, kung nag-open up ako, hindi ako bumagsak sa kasalanan. Dahil yun nga, during that time, I didn't know how to handle it. At yun nga, of course, masarap sa feeling, na may kausap ako babae, maganda siya, whatever. Pero from that point on, anong gagawin ko? Anong magiging bunga nito? At hindi ko nakita yon until, yun nga, hanggang sa kailangan ma-expose. At yun din ang nakita ko problema na aayusin lang kapag na-expose na, kailangan pa ma-expose para ma-realize ko yung mali, yung kung gaano kabigat yung kasalanan ng ginagawa ko. Dahil ang hinahanap ko nun is just to satisfy my flesh, na makaroon ako ng girlfriend or whatever. Pero seeing that time na it is worthless yung ginawa ko. Yun nga, masarap sa pakiramdam, pero from that time on, you're going to have, the guilt's gonna eat me up after that.
Yeah. And you want to share something?
Ako? Kahit hindi student.
Huh?
I mean, kahit hindi school related. I mean, it's kinda school related.
Yeah.
Sige.
So, I know you know this. I'm also same about sa girls din sa pag-chat. Kasi, yun nga, ako rin, naghahanap. It's like I'm looking for worth. Yeah, to see appreciation. Attention. And, this girl, so itong babaeng to, kasama ko siya sa school, nung high school. ano ko lang siya, schoolmate ko lang siya. Though same kami ng batch, same kami ng year, but we're not really classmates.
Mm-mm.
And nung time na yun, on and off siya sa church. Pero nung talagang nagseryoso siya, talagang nagseryoso siya.
Yes.
I mean, talagang nagpatuloy siya kay Lord, ganyan. And eto na, nung time nung pandemic, of course, siyempre, nag-lockdown. We don't have anything to do. Kailangan nasa bahay lang tayo. So, yun nga, parang, siyempre, that time, aminin ko, hindi pa talaga ako totally matured. Kahit na worker ako, kahit laki ako sa church.
Yes.
Hindi pa talaga ako totally matured emotionally, spiritually, the way I think compare sa ngayon. And nung time na yun, talagang naghahanap ako ng, alam mo yun, parang mapapaglibangan, ganyan. So, aside sa mga nag-games kami, nung time ng pandemic, nag-chat din, nakikipag-chat din ako. And then, isa yun sa nakausap ko, and yun talaga yung talagang matindi. Yes, this girl, that girl. So, nung time na yun, talagang every night, I talk to her after gawain, ganyan. And, nung time na yun, there's time na talagang
Na-DA ka ba niyan? Na-DA ka ba niyan? Or hindi?
Dini ako internal.
Internal.
Hindi ako pinatugtog. Kasi, di rin halata kasi talagang ano tayo eh. Like, kasi,
Closed doors.
Closed doors talaga tayo. So, nung time na yun talaga, meron ng conviction na sabihin na sa parents ko, sa mother ko, pero dinisregard ko yung conviction na yun. Dinisregard ko yung feeling. Tinuloy ko pa rin. Tinuloy ko yung mga, let's say, 3 months straight. Lagi kami magkausap every night until nakapag-release ako ng word na hindi dapat na nirelease in an early
Deep word.
age. Yeah. Hindi dapat nirelease in an early age. And yun na. Doon na ako nag-fall. Kasi doon na lumaki yung pangyayari. Pero ang isa pang masakit doon is that hindi ako yung nag-expose.
Yes.
That girl. Siya yung nag-expose. And that time, nung na-expose na yon, that's the first time na umiyak ng grabe yung mother ko. Umiyak siya sa akin. And ako rin nung nakikita ko siya umiiyak, parang sabi ko, parang hindi ko deserve maging anak niya. Kasi sa ginawa ko, na maaari sabihin natin, ayoko i-justify yung pagkakamali ko, pero yun nga, it's still a sin. Kasalanan pa rin siya. Dapat ganito na yung ginawa ko. Dapat sinabi ko na agad na kinakausap ko siya para at least somehow nababantayan pa rin natin. At the same time, nare-remind ako na baka sumobra ka. Diba? Pero hindi ko ginawa. Kasi may conviction eh. Pero I disregard that conviction. So, nung time na umiyak yung mother ko, sobrang talaga tinandaan ko. Like, I made, it's not just a promise. It's an altar. I made an altar to God. At the same time to my mother na talagang babantayan ko yung sarili ko. Actually, sinabi rin niya, lagi niya sinasabi sa teaching niya. Every time tuturo siya. Na hindi na kailangan na umabot sa kailangan ka pang EDA or talagang you need to have a disciplinary action para lang bantayan mo yung sarili mo. As much as you can bantayan mo yung sarili mo, do it. So yun yung lagi ko yun yung talaga pinaka-tinandaan ko yun sa kanya. Sa mother ko noong time na umiiyak siya sa akin. So yun, I guess I know na yun talaga yung pinaka nag-strike sa akin na ganito na dapat yung ginawa ko pero hindi ko pa rin ginawa. Diba? So, yun yung pinaka-biggest event na nangyari sa akin.
One of the most common things na sinabi natin is that we immediately need help. But we struggled to open up.
Yeah.